Unit 2. Focus on Process. Chapter 4. The Internet. How it works. Part 2. Listening. Page 24. A. Initial listening. Now let's listen to a talk about what the Internet is and how it works.
The Internet consists of millions of computers, all linked together into a gigantic network. Now, every computer that is connected to the Internet is part of this network and can communicate with any other connected computer. In order to communicate with each other, these computers are equipped with special communication software. To connect to the Internet, the user instructs the computer's communication software to contact the Internet Service Provider, or ISP. Now, an Internet Service Provider, or ISP, is a company that provides Internet service to individuals, organizations, or companies, usually for a monthly charge. Local ISPs connect to larger ISPs, which in turn connect to even larger ISPs. A hierarchy of networks is formed, and this hierarchy is something like a pyramid, with lots of small networks at the bottom and fewer but larger networks moving up the pyramid. But amazingly, there is no one single controlling network at the top. Instead, there are dozens of high-level networks which agree to connect with each other. It is through this process that everyone on the Internet is able to connect with everyone else on the Internet, no matter where he or she is in the world. How does information that leaves one computer travel through all these networks and arrive at its destination, another computer, in a fraction of a second? The process depends on routers. Now, routers are specialized computers whose job it is to direct the information through the networks. The data or information in an email message, a web page, or a file is first broken down into tiny packets. And each of these packets has the address of the sender and the receiver and information on how to put the packets back together. Each of these packets is then sent off through the Internet. And when a packet reaches a router, the router reads its destination address, and the router then decides the best route to send the packet on its way to its destination. All the packets might take the same route, or they might go different routes. Finally, when all the packets reach their destination, they're put back into the correct order. To help you understand this process, I'm going to ask you to think about these packets of information as electronic postcards. Now, imagine that you want to send a friend a book, but you can send it only as postcards. First, you would have to cut up each of the pages of the book to the size of the postcards. Next, you would need to write your address and the address of your friend on each of these postcards. You would also need to number the postcards so that your friend could put them in the correct order after he receives the postcards. After completing these steps, you would put all the postcards in the mail. You would have no way to know how each postcard traveled to reach your friend. Some might go by truck, some by train, some by plane, some by boat. Some might go by all four ways. Now, along the way, many postal agents may look at the addresses on the postcards in order to decide the best route to send them off on to reach their destination. The postcards would probably arrive at different times, but finally, after all the postcards had arrived, your friend would be able to put them back in the correct order and read the book. Now, this is the same way that information is sent over the Internet, using the network of routers. But of course, it happens much, much faster.